I have to listen to it too.
No, I have pretty good pitch. I can pick up.
It's at the end of the chorus, right? Hey now, hey now, you're a rock star, and then want get paid. All that glitters is banned.
Now we got our seekers in its place.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Common Ground Podcast. This is episode 24. Yeah, we'll go up 24, 25, somewhere in there. But yeah, I promise it's one of those two. I am your host, Cameron Schindler, joined as always with Thomas Gunn. What's up?
What's up? How we doing?
We doing all right. Unapplied for an apartment today because their parking policy. I remember telling Hippo about this.
Oh.
I'll introduce my other co-host first. Hippo James Hieronymus.
That's
What's
me.
Up?
Yay.
Hola, everyone.
How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Thank you.
You ready for this parking policy?
Go. I heard about it, but go ahead and tell Gunn about it.
$50 a month to park there.
Okay.
And if I want, and this isn't Hermitage, it's not downtown Nashville.
This is right over by Drew's place.
Yeah.
Huh.
And if I have friends over, they have to pay like $3 an hour to park.
Okay.
Nobody's
that's crap.
ever gonna want to come over.
That is awful.
Could you imagine, like?
That's a terrible policy.
Yeah.
I can understand like a small monthly charge if that's like really your policy, but like charging people to park and also like out not downtown charging.
It's ironic because they charge you to. Yeah, it's not
that's
downtown
dumb.
Nashville. They charge you to park, but they also hire a third-party service that goes around and boots
and
cars.
monitors everyone.
Yeah, they boot cars, and people like are complaining that their cars get booted and stuff, and their permits showing, so they get wrongfully booted. And I just read a bunch of bad reviews. I had a lot of likes like that after I applied, and I'm like, I don't want to live here anymore.
Yep. Nope.
That seems reasonable.
Did you tell them that that's why?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Hopefully they'll
take
that into consideration.
Disgusting. I have
It's
a
not great.
fact about you, Hippo.
About me?
Yeah, I found a funny Hippo fact. It's a funny Hippo fact because it's not even a fact. It just says, Hippo versus Lion, who wins? ? In a 1-to-1 face-off, a hippo could end the lion's life in a couple of minutes.
Oh yeah. Easy.
Lions
I don't
however,
even think it would
manage
take
to kill
2
a hippo
minutes.
by attacking it as an entire pride of several individuals. This is rare, as even the lion knows the risk involved.
It's true.
And won't go after a hippo.
It's true.
It's just it's like the least fact ever.
That's kind of a fact. That's close enough.
It's like a hippo versus 1 million ants. Who would win? But the people aren't here to talk about ants versus hippos.
Versus lions.
They're here to talk about glitters getting banned.
Hold on.
Oh!
Oh!
You actually ripped a glitters in half.
Oh, do you have two?
Oh my god, he's gonna do it again. Oh god. Oh. All right. Well, while James
Watch it gets unpicked.
creates some ASMR for. Oh, there's the fourth. All right, that's it. They're gone.
And then he can sprinkle them like glitter. Glitter is in the sky. He just threw them in the air like glitter.
Incredible.
So
boy.
glitters got banned.
Yeah.
That was my special.
Which wasn't even going to be our main topic today, but now it's definitely part of what we're talking about.
So we had a whole ban announcement on May 13th of 2024. Pauper, only card that was banned was All That Glitters, nothing unbanned. But I guess I shouldn't say only card
Correct.
because they also made an announcement that coassigns with Vintage, Legacy, Pauper, and I think Canadian Highlanders following along with it too for those who play that. Any stickers or attraction cards are also now banned.
Thank God.
Did you read the reasoning on that? I didn't really go in depth on that part.
It's a logistical nightmare.
Is it just like not?
It's a logistical nightmare. It takes so much time to explain. Like, I honestly, as someone who like off and on plays Legacy, like somebody would have to explain to me what an attraction is.
Yeah.
I have no clue.
Me too. I have no idea.
Or how stickers work. I legitimately don't know.
Me neither.
So the time that it would save to explaining what they do is good.
It was just, I think it's a big mistake of a mechanic. A big mistake just to make them black bordered, really.
Right, to make them legal for other constructed formats in the first place.
I think like that kind of stuff is like better off just silver bordered because I remember having fun with the previous unset and just they kind of got greedy and wanted people to buy it more, and it flopped really, really hard. Also, I heard a reason was because if you have like a clone and you copy somebody's Mind Goblin, you don't have your own sticker sheet.
Oh, weird.
So then it's just its own problem. But I think that's the two announcements we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah.
As always, whenever there's a ban or any change to the Pauper format, Gavin Verhey writes us, specifically us, to
the three of us,
a very nice long article that just Ed posts a video explaining why they did what they did. Do you have anything? I have some notes.
Some thoughts.
Some thoughts. I want to hear your voice.
Sure. I mean, I think I agree with their decision making. I think they said in the which is I'm sure something we'll cover if we're going through Gavin's little article here, is that they had mentioned in the article when Swiftspear got banned that All That Glitters is a card that they were keeping their eye on, like between All That Glitters, Artifact Lands, as always, like things like that. And so this is kind of not surprising. If you were looking through Krablinski's challenge metagame data alongside us as we were going through the challenges the last few weeks, like Glitters has had very good win rates. It's put up top finishes across many, many challenges. It's one of those cards that just whoops I win. And I feel like as much as I have made an argument in the past for cards that like have an oops I win effect to them, that it just means that you have to be more careful and more strategic about how you navigate spots and making sure you're keeping up interaction in certain spots and not just like trying to hope they don't have it, because then they'll have it and they'll win the game. As much as I've been on the side of like letting that happen, because I think it increases the amount of like interaction and counterplay that goes on, I am certainly not upset that it's gone as well, because I also understand that it is a super feel bad in a lot of spots. And is a really powerful card. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm pro ban. I don't really have strong feelings either way. It was a very powerful card, and off it goes, and we'll see how the meta shakes out.
I feel like it got banned when it was starting to kind of like heighten down a little bit. Maybe that's just my perspective on it, which could be totally wrong. I feel like we haven't seen it dominate the top 8 challenges.
No, but it does put that as Thomas mentioned, it does put that like blanket on the format where you're like, you can't tap out, like you just die.
Yeah,
and they don't want that to be the case. I understand. I know there's someone in our local community who thinks that they hate Affinity, but that wasn't even the deck that got it banned. It was the Boros deck. The Boros deck got it banned.
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, Wizards quote hates Affinity. No, they don't hate Affinity. They're actually trying to keep it around and make it a deck consistently by not banning the artifact lands.
Yeah, and that's something
that's the biggest thing. They're not banning the artifact lands for the sole purpose of keeping that a part of the identity of the format.
I want to touch on what you said too with the it makes it really hard to tap out against a deck. That's something Gavin mentioned in his article, and I mentioned the first time we talked about Glitters on the podcast, or when we were talking about debating on banning it. I was kind of like, well, that one time I was playing Gardens versus you, I got in that spot where it's like, the one time I tapped out every time is the turn I died. And that was extremely, extremely frustrating, because it puts you in a position where it's like, I can't develop my own board because I have to sit there with this Lightning Bolt, because once they put that Glitters on there, my Lightning Bolt, my Galvanic Blast, or even 2 of my Galvanic Blasts isn't enough to kill it anymore. So, like, it's just... Thunder! That was a bad thunder. Thunder! Thunderstruck. Okay, sorry, that was too loud not to get our attention.
That's a good one.
Where's it going with that?
Holding up interaction all the time.
Yeah. So it's just not... It's very frustrating when it's like, this is, okay, I played around it like 5 turns in a row, I'm finally gonna like develop my board or something. It's like, haha, you're dead. Hippo, you said something about like banning the affinity lands too. Not that you're in favor.
Oh no.
Yeah.
The idea is to keep the artifact lands as a kind of a Pauper staple. Like, that's part of the identity of the format. It's part of what makes the format the format that it is.
And they've
mentioned it. They they've said previously, they're like, we've looked at the bridges, because they're they're indestructible or whatever. They just are trying to. They are trying to band-aid the situation of having artifact lands. I get that. That's the idea. But I am in favor of having the artifact lands around. I think like I say, they've been a part of they are the format. Like that's been the part of the format forever, and I don't want that to go away.
And they did mention that they tried, like they tested, as in the
Pauper format panel.
Yep, thank you.
PFP.
The PFP, the Pauper format panel. They mentioned testing out just banning the bridges and play testing and building decks like that, and they're like, it didn't really matter. You know, they just played some other tap lands and fixing, and yeah, it was a couple less artifacts, but like you still have that spew of 8 novice inspectors or Thraben inspectors that just go to the artifact count. You have the original ones, and they mentioned that they didn't want to ban the original Mirrodin lands because it has so much of a format defining presence, almost like banning Brainstorm and Legacy.
Yeah, there's some things that I think this one actually might be a little closer than that one. There is the like understood rule that they'll never ban Brainstorm, though it's the best card in the format, like by a lot. I don't know that this is necessarily the same case here. Like those aren't necessarily the most powerful things that you can do, but those are an engine for a lot of different powerful things that you can do now. I mean, yeah, we don't have like a glitters necessarily now to take advantage of them with. The best you can do at this rate is just like spam out like Mirror Enforcers. Cool.
Yeah.
Like I'm not that impressed by you powering out like a turn 2 or 3 Mirror Enforcer. It's a 4/4.
I'll power out 2 terrors.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a
Terror's a
blocker
better
for force,
card.
know.
So I don't think it's not that Wizards hates Affinity. It's just they think they would like to keep the Affinity lands intact without having to. Or that's that full stop. They just want to keep the artifact lands intact. It's part of the format.
No, that makes sense. And like that Boros deck was a machine because I've talked about previous episodes how it like bridges this gap between aggressive and grindy because it can kill you out of nowhere while it can also outgrind you too, like with those synthesizer and Glenhawk packages.
Yeah, it just only took a matter of time for attaching good deck like that already existed with busted card, and therefore, voila, you have busted deck entirely.
Oh, one last little point on all that glitters. Kind of remember when, like Monster Swiss Spear got banned? They're kind of just talking about how like sideboards just became like 8 blast effects and life gain spells. It's like kind of similar to like the Affinity deck when it's popular. It's like, okay, 4 Dust to Dust, 4 Cast into Fires. You know, it's just you pack in all this artifact hate, and it's only while it's an aggressive deck, the artifact hate isn't good against the mono red deck too. So it's like the 2 aggressive decks take different sideboard cards needed.
Sure.
And Gavin mentioned that article, and I thought that was a well thought out point.
Yeah, they take their time with these decisions.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't think they're just making them on a whim.
No, that's why it's happened now.
Yeah.
And people have been crying about it for a minute.
Yeah.
But I don't think the format was falling apart. It's still been, we've seen it very diverse and healthy, but I think this was an appropriate ban just because of that strain it put on the format that we discussed.
I will say it's one little interesting side nerf is this is a little bit of a blow to the hexproof deck, to Boggles. They lose their second like ethereal armor type effect. I don't think that's as big a factor as it will be to the decks that just spring up around glitters themselves, but just, you know, something to think about. Pour one out for the Boggles players.
Yeah,
They'll still play
I
it.
mean, like
They'll be okay.
Yeah, I don't think you can regret with that in mind, like saying that the two decks that lose it are being like reasonable decks that lose it are like Borosynth and Boggles. They can recover from it. And I think a deck like Blue White, I don't know that deck can recover from.
Yeah, I don't
from
think that deck exists.
Yeah, I don't think it exists anymore. Like if you're gonna play like Affinity, you're just gonna play Grixis.
Yeah,
like I don't see any reason why you would. Currently, as things stand, I don't see why you want to play anything different.
Yeah, I agree. Blue Eye was kind of
because you don't really have a payoff now for playing White really.
Mm-hmm.
So
I agree. In the article, Gavin also mentioned Prophetic Prism and talking about unbanning it, but they just want to like slow the brakes on that because we have a big influx of cards coming in the form of Modern Horizons 3, which we're going to do a set review once the full set's spoiled officially, not on somebody's Nokia.
Looks like a potato. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, true. The potato with the camera. But Gavin did say something in the article that he just wanted to be transparent and said there is a common in MH3 that is similar to something that's been banned already, and so that might not have a long life expectancy in our format Pauper. So like he was.
Ooh.
I know.
I did speculate on what it would be, but I will leave that for another time.
Yeah.
Mm.
But so that's exciting. We don't know the card, of course. Only.
No, just pure speculation.
Yeah.
Boy, has there been speculation already.
Yeah, that's true. So no, that's like a bold. It's nice that they said that. Like that's a bold statement. Like, hey, there might be a common in this set that might only be legal for like a week or two. It's like,
Right.
whoa. So it's like I feel like we're gonna know once we see it.
Yeah, whatever card it is, we'll win. Like we'll top 8. We'll have like basically 8 copies in the top 8 of whatever the challenge is that weekend, and then it'll just be gone.
Because like the last thing that was like that impactful was like the initiative.
No, I think I actually think the card that got banned the quickest after its set release was Chatterstorm.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
the initiative took a minute just because.
Yeah, people didn't figure out that
Yeah.
you could just power them out, and they were insane.
Well, because a lot of those cards weren't on Magic Online.
Well,
like,
that's
right
the-
away.
that's the
part
big
of it.
thing.
yeah, that
too.
was a big part of it.
Woo. Any closing thoughts from Thomas, Hippo, Cameron?
Excited to see where things land after this.
Same.
Also same. Just a shout out to the PFP because we say it every time there's been an announcement. We have like this nice long article explaining why they did this, and you just know they care about the format. And I'm sure the people making ban decisions for Pioneer, Modern, and Legacy also care about the format. They don't give us these sick articles and videos,
Not
which we'll link into this episode's description. Question for you,
really.
3. What decks do you think? I don't know. I included me. What decks do you think are gonna come out of this on top?
On top,
On top.
I think so. Now people can start to play a little bit slower and tap out more.
Mm-hmm.
But you're gonna have to find something that also is not just gonna die to these new mono red decks, like these Kadoltha decks. So striking a balance between that is probably something in there. I'm looking at probably something like Jeskai Ephemerate, if I had to take a guess, is probably a deck that I'm going to look at, or even bigger decks like Gardens. I think will be a favorable outcome of this. I think something like Tron might be a favorable outcome of this. I think Ponza might even be like a favorable outcome of this, honestly.
I think Gardens is not going to be favorable because I think all these like Poison Storm and linear combo decks are going to like come out and play and feast upon Gardens, but maybe there's going to be a recession like what you said with like the mono red decks pushing back at it. So that made me think like Coggates because it can deal with the aggressiveness and also have the counter spell back
That's actually probably what the default best deck becomes like right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just the king of mid-range decks, like, right? Like, it's just got all the answers for everything. Like, you get to play all the white cyborg cards. You have counter magic for whatever, an unruly thing happens to occur. And you have the gate in-game package. So, yeah, that seems like I think that's probably, now that you mentioned, it's probably the actual default best deck.
You got any thoughts?
Kind of a similar spot where James is at. I think Get-Outta-Heres will continue to be like somewhat dominant as things start to transition away from glitters, and then people, because like you said, people don't need to try and fight 2 different kinds of aggression, like the go wide on the Get-Outta side versus the go tall on the glitter side. Now they can kind of just like let synth do its bounce all its permanence thing, and just we can deal with a value deck.
Then fiery
But
cannon
now,
after they're done.
yeah. But then we can just we can just board wipe, weather the storm, whatever. That's gonna kind of be more of your like catch-all, stop the red decks, and then you can focus your like regular attention on like everything else, kind of all in this one little, I don't know, all this pile of value decks. So yeah, I agree with James. I think the bigger decks will come out on top. It's a good point about Coggates. But I think it'll be a little bit until Mono Red is totally dethroned, because I think it's just this very lean, clean machine that is just like continuing to just kind of mow through stuff.
And that's where Cameron's point of Gates being good, because they get to play prismatic strands.
Mm-hmm.
Like that being a huge boon for them is very, very good.
Agreed.
What is kind of like a downside of this band too is like what's the other aggressive deck in the format now besides mono red?
Say Kadoltha is like the de facto
It's like
aggressive
besides
deck.
Kadoltha, it's just
there's
Boggles and Kadoltha now.
I mean, there's like the mono white deck, but it's not.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not like I don't think it's got the legs for it. I just don't. As much as I wish it were, it doesn't have the reach that the red deck has, and back up with burn spells and stuff like lightning bolts and chain lightnings or whatever.
It just feels like the red deck's a much better choice.
If you're gonna unless you're playing the aggressive deck to beat the other aggressive deck, then that might be the case, because your aggressive deck, say on the mono white side, you get the access to the prismatic strands and stuff, and your creatures are bigger.
Mm-hmm.
As if you were playing the heads up aggro plan, then I think that works, but I don't think it works in an open field necessarily as well.
I get what you're saying. Shall we move it to you two, Thomas and Hippo? You guys played some Pauper this last weekend. I was in South Dakota for a friend's wedding after my flight got canceled. Still made it. We're good. That was very frustrating, but no, y'all played Pauper. I said, don't tell me anything. I want to hear it live on the pod. All I know is what y'all played.
Okay.
I found out today Hippo played glitters after he unsleeved his glitters and ripped them in half in front of.
I did.
But Thomas, I'll let you. What did you play, Thomas?
To no one's surprise, I played my burn deck, my Demand Answers burn deck. Felt pretty good about it. I ended up playing 1 Searing Blaze in the main as just my hedge spell, and 3 breath weapons on the board for the Golgotha matchup. I guess I'll start just going through my tournament real quick. It's a bit of a quicker recap than James.
No, that's not a good sign.
No. So round 1, I get paired up against our friend Blake. Blake brought Red Black Madness burn, which is it's fun when you're racing when their burn spells gain them life back.
Yeah.
So I was able to turbo out a very quick win in game 1, but he was mostly because he was stuck on 2 or 3 lands. But then games 2 and 3, he was able to just do the thing his deck wants to do, and over time that deck will beat the burn deck unless the burn deck has just some crazy sick draw. And because I have so much match. I have so many cards that are trying to be card advantage engines instead of just burn, I can kind of lose that race. So I lost the first round. Second round, I get paired up against a player I had not met before. Their name is Austin. Not our Austin, different Austin. And they were on Golgotha Red. So I'm just 0 for 2 in the good matchups. They beat me in 2 games. Didn't see Breath Weapon, or at least I set myself up to draw into Breath Weapon towards the last couple turns of game 2, but I was simultaneously a land short, and I had to sack a mountain to double lava dart something to not die in a spot, and it was rough. It was a little rough. So I started 0-2. We only had 17 players, so there was still a slim chance that I could get in from 0-2, but I knew if that was going to happen, I needed to get the bye, which I did in round 3.
Woo!
So I got the bye.
This is where the rallying starts.
Those good tie breaks. And then I get paired in round 4 against friend of the show, Jay. Jay was also on Red Black Madness Burn, playing some sweet tech, the Raven of Fell Omens from Outlaws of Thunder Junction. I believe we only played 2 games. It might the second game was especially close. It was very, very close. We both got each other down
to 1 point.
Yeah,
right?
1 or 2 points left in our life totals on either side, and it was super, super close down the stretch. But he played a great game, and he beat me 2-0, and then he went on to win round 5 to be one of the 3-2s who got in.
Let's go, Jay.
So good for Jay. And so I was 1-3. At that point, I dropped from the tournament and just played some Jeskai Tubert with our friend Carson.
Oh, and
me.
And James.
Wait,
and
no, it's spoiled. James didn't make top 8 either?
Oh, I made top 8.
Oh, okay. So
I was waiting. I got to draw with my last round.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
But yeah, that was my tournament. It was fun. The day was great. More so because of the gathering than the magic.
Of course.
But that's okay. That's just gonna I feel like that's gonna happen with the burn deck sometimes. Sometimes you're running hot and you get some good to mid matchups and you just play really well. I also think there were some mulligan decisions I probably missed on. I think that's something I need to focus up on right now in my magic playing. Is I think I need to focus up on tighter mulligan decisions right now.
Being thoughtful with it.
Yeah, just being really, really disciplined of just
thinking long term in that game.
Exactly.
Kind of thing.
Yeah,
I have a good podcast episode to recommend you for that.
Sick.
Okay.
But yeah, that was my tournament. Deck is still awesome. It's super fun to play. I don't think I mean, things might look a little different now with glitters being banned, but I never thought that glitters was a problem matchup. So we'll see if there was at least one other Kuldotha red deck in the room that did make top 8. My second round opponent did not make top 8. But another Kuldotha red player made top 8. So like there was a more of a red showing in the room than usual for our locals. So
there was a lot of red decks in the room.
Yes. So I got a little bit of the short end of the stick. I didn't make super disciplined plays and spots, and that was that. That was my Pauper. But that's okay. James, how was your Pauper?
Well, as I'd already said, I did top 8 our locals. Round 1, I played against Get-Outta-Heres red. I 2-0'd this individual.
You're on Boros Glitters, right?
Yeah, I played Boros Glitters.
That was my round 2 opponent, I believe.
Yes, I believe so. So I played Boros Glitters. I played a couple of my flex slots. I played actually, funny enough, hedged for red a little bit by playing more than one copy of, or actually playing a total of 3 copies of my 75 of Dawnbringer Cleric. That was a good choice for 1 glitters, in case there were opposing glitters in the room, and it's a fine card against red. But yeah, I played against Get-Outta-Heres round 1, beat it 2-0. I played against Blake in round 2 on the red-black madness deck.
We just swapped opponents.
Yeah, and then
That's funny.
And then I got my teeth kicked in. I made an incorrect line in game 2, and it cost me the game. So we could have gone to a game 3, but I did not.
What was that
take the line? I got very tunnel visioned on where a glitters is supposed to be put. Mm-hmm. I had turn 2 to glitter, or I had a really cool start. I had Ancient Den, Thraben Inspector, make a clue. Turn 2, Ancient Den, glitters up the Inspector. So this thing's already out of any burn range. So it's not gonna die. And then I got very tunnel visioned and had a second glitters. When in theory or in reality, I should have I had a Glint Hawk, and I played a Glint Hawk and bounced back one of these Ancient Dens and replayed an Ancient Den for turn. The little trick that I taught you however long ago. And then I slammed that glitters on the Thraben Inspector, and I'm like, well, that was dumb. Why'd I do that? Literally, as soon as I put it on there, I was like, well, that was really bad. That was so bad. And then I
just
he was able to just jump for the entirety of the game. So I would have had him dead in 2 turns, but
oof.
Yeah. So it is what it is. And then round 3, I also played against Jay on Red Black Madness.
Was it just you 5 there, or what?
No, I swear there were other people.
I swear there were other people. I played against Jay. I
know you won because he plays Jay the next round.
I did win. I don't remember if I won 2-0 or 2-1, but I did win. I think I won 2-1. I think he got me 1 game. And then I played against. That's a great question. What did I play against? I feel like it was something I just steamrolled.
This is before you draw.
Yeah.
Do you remember who it was?
I'm blanking so hard.
Was it Devin?
Oh, yeah, I played against our buddy Devin. I was playing Walls combo in round 4, and I absolutely thrashed him. It was not close. He's playing 8 lands at his Walls deck because he's an insane individual.
God.
With 2 lands in the sideboard for his sideboard plan.
What a monster!
Yeah, Devin's a wild one.
8 lands?
Yeah, he was playing 8 land wall combo.
Like land grant. And
No, I don't know if he was playing land grant or not.
Oh boy!
I was just he was just raw dogging 8 lands. I think
raw dogging
8 lands. I'm pretty sure
that's not enough lands.
He only needed 1 game 1. I mean, he basically functioned the entire game off of 1 singular land. That's all he needed.
Wild.
I mean, yeah, it was crazy, but he ended up not doing anything. He got an what is that? The Grizzly that you're able to pay for mana and look at the top card if it's a creature you put it in your hand or whatever. He looked. I'm pretty sure he saw minimum 2 to 3 copies of either Winding Way or Lead Stampede, and therefore couldn't draw them. So which he would have needed to even get in that game at all. So he didn't get to play them. And then game 2, he just didn't really do anything, and he died. And he played the game, but
he played a couple walls.
He played a couple walls, and it just didn't matter. He died. Then I was able to. I got paired against what would have been Ponza against our buddy Matthew, and we drew because we were both live for top 8 with a draw. And then we into top 8.
Man, what a bad room for gardens.
Yeah, it would have been really heinous. Glad I didn't play it. But in top 8, there was an interesting prize structure for the day that I don't think was thought out necessarily in the best way.
That's right.
So to eliminate any feel bads, we all split top 8 for 9 packs apiece because the way it was structured was a full box to first, a half a box to second, a quarter box to third and fourth, and then one singular pack for 5 through 8th. And I was like, I'm not going to do that to my friend that I'm sitting across from in top 8. That if I had not known, had not known that was the case, or if I had known that was the case beforehand, and and my buddy wasn't sitting across from me, I would have snapped off a play for the top 8.
Yeah.
But that was the prize structure, and I'm like, oh, I'm not going to be the one to make that be a thing.
Yeah, that's a big feels bad.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not going to just make make 4 people get 1 pack apiece.
I wonder if that's just because they usually do 8.
It's like 6-pack. Usually it's like
a box
6 packs
for
for
8 players.
Yeah, a box. Yeah, and
it was a box for every 8 players, but the way it was structured was like more like an RCQ that we would have run.
Yeah.
I think it's just because we had 17, so it was just one
that
above.
That was part of it, but the fact that we had the way it was, normally it's not that way. Normally it's like
a little less,
it's like
third and fourth.
less top heavy, and it's more evenly distributed.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like say like 18 packs to first, or 12 packs to second, or something like that.
It's usually a box or a box and a half to first.
Well, it depends on how many people.
That's true.
So they were very, they just followed the spreadsheet and were just tunnel visioned on it's a win a box event. And so it just like first place a box and then spread it out from there, and then it just ended up being a lower spread to the bottom.
So yeah, I didn't want to be the one to ruin everyone's day.
So y'all
and
did
I just
split.
we all split top 8 with 9 packs apiece.
Do you have Mark's post pulled up for what top 8 was? Cool.
I do.
Hit me up with that. I'm
All right,
curious.
this is our top 8. I'll just go down the line. This is standings after Swiss. In first place, Paul Holt on Golgotha Red. In second place, Derek Smith on Miracle Burn. This was a pretty sick list that they showed James and I at the start of the tournament, playing 4 copies of both pingers, the Keswick Flame Breather and the Thermal Alchemist, and playing Thunderous Wrath, which is the 6 mana instant deal 5. But if you draw it for the first card you draw for turn, you can miracle it for a single mana.
Is that one that like plays the card that puts it back on top?
No.
So it's just straight
it's
up.
Just to quote
brain.
James, just raw dogging the
raw dogging
miracle
bird
card.
spells.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Fire blasts, thunderous wraths. Yeah,
That's sick.
I do want to give Derek a quick shout out. He is probably the person who actually put Pauper on the map for Nashville many years ago.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he was super involved and wanted to make it a thing. So shout out to Derek.
Paving the way for us new geners.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Derek was super chill. On third place, our boy Thomas Bitter on Poison Storm.
Oh, you did it. Good job, Bitter.
That would have been my top 8 opponent.
Ooh, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you would have wrecked him.
Fourth place, Scott Kennedy playing Green Tron.
He was playing Monster Tron.
Yeah, with some monsters like the assembly workers, the 5 mana 4/4s that search out another one and stuff like that. It was pretty sick. He's just stomping all over people. We played a quick test game beforehand, and he cast Sylvan Scrying, and I was like, Scott, I don't think that's a legal card in this format. He's like, what? And this, sadly, was also like the last time we were there for Pauper. He went Monastery Swift Spear, and we were all like, oh, Scott, I'm so sorry, but that's banned now. So he was a little frustrated at the start of the day, but his deck, he had some extra cards. He was able to piece a little package together, and the deck performed well for him.
Scott, it's commons only with a small ban list.
Well, it was a promo version of Sylvan Scrying. Okay. That's a fine assumption to make. That's fine. Scott is a brewer.
To be fair, the rest of the ways to get lands out of that deck are all commons.
Yeah, like Expedition.
Seemed reasonable that would be one.
Yeah. But Scott's an excellent brewer, and glad to see him making top 8 here. In fifth place, our friend Matthew Centillis on Gruul Ponza. In sixth place, our own James Hieronymus on Just Guy. No, not Just Guy. Boros. It says Just Guy ? Boros Glitters in 7th place. Also a friend of the show, Hunter Bish, playing One Land Spy again.
He's just out there being a madman still.
Yeah, it's true. And Jay snuck into 8th place on Rakdos Madness. A solid tournament. Other standouts, there was a Boggles deck. There was a Coggates deck, a second Kuldotha Red.
That was a pretty diverse meta.
A Sprout Swarm deck, which I didn't get to see.
I did not see this.
Our buddy Carson was on Blue Black Terror. Yeah. It was a very diverse metagame for a little tournament. It was a lot of fun. And Scion was on Just Guy Glitters.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
I got to see Scion do some disgusting things. It was pretty great. It was his last hurrah with the old Glitters deck.
That's true.
Yes, it was.
But yeah, that was our Pauper tournament.
Y'all had fun?
Yeah,
I had a good time.
Did you play your deck again?
I can play Borosynth again if I'd like. I cannot play with the card All That Glitters.
Yeah, Synth is still going to be very much so a thing.
Yeah, well, it might be. I think there's a shot that it gets. It's not quite big enough. Like it might be just a little too small ball for some of the other bigger decks that might come up in the format. But we'll see. It's entirely possible that it is just a reasonable deck to play. I agree.
I bet it'll be fine. I bet it'll be A-okay. Shall we move it on to some challenges?
Let's do it.
So
Let's go. Can I grab? I'm gonna grab some water.
I would also grab a drink. Shall we move it to
Some challenges.
the Pauper challenges?
The challenge.
There's a rumor there's only 3 this weekend.
It's not just a rumor; it's a confirmed fact.
It's a blasphemous rumor.
The smaller of the 2 Sunday challenges did not fire. Could have been any number of reasons. I'd like to think it was a lot of people hanging out with their mothers.
I know so. I did.
I did too.
I called mine.
Good.
I'm gonna hang out with my fam a whole bunch next month. So
Good.
yeah, they're gonna get sick of me. They're not. They love when I'm home.
Is that possible?
To get sick of me?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding.
We'll table that one.
Yeah.
All right.
Table.
We will.
Oh,
We're not. We'll
trying to
table
be
it
nice.
for later. No. That was very kind of you. So Friday, May 10th. This is the Challenge 32. We got 42 players in 8th place. Guy Bird on Mono Red Kuldotha. In 7th place, New Barola on Coggates. In 6th place, Hamuda on Goblin Combo, aka Mogwarts. In 5th place, Las Vegas Chaos on Blue-White Glitters Affinity. I would also mention at this point, MTG Decks has already added a little red sticker that says contains banned cards, which is very funny. In 4th place, Tyrub 1618 on their old regular deck, Cycling Storm. In 3rd place, Boom Bust on Mono Red Kuldotha. In 2nd place, Oskia, also on Mono Red Kuldotha. And in 1st place, with a 7-2 record, Zio Francone on what I believe is Golgari Gardens.
It's Gardens. Yep.
Looks like we're back up to the usual... well, actually, no, not quite the usual 3-3-3-3 creature suite. 3 Hunters, 3 Trolls, with 2 Crypt Rats and 2 Thorn of the Black Rose. And 1 Drowningstar in the main. And a fungal infection.
So I was sent a list from one of our listeners that included a really interesting way of going about playing this deck. Are you familiar with the card Culling the Weak?
No,
Culling the Weak.
Culling
It's the ritual.
the Weak.
It's the quad black ritual.
I am not familiar. What does this card do?
It is a card in the One Land Spy deck, but once you take a look at it, the list basically included ways to power out like Thorn of the Black Rose is basically the idea here.
Kind of like what Fairies was doing.
Kind of like Fairies was doing with like Dark Ritual and stuff, but this is doing it with sacking dinky things. Like I think it sacks just sack creatures, correct?
Yeah, it says so it's a black mana. I believe it's been errated to an instant. It's printed as mana source for the time. It's from Exodus. So it's a black mana instant, sacrifice a creature, add black to your mana pool. So it's like a super dark ritual for sacrificing a creature.
But yeah, the idea was to just turbo out some of these like thorns and stuff. It was pretty sweet.
Sack your garden token.
Yeah.
A good turn to Avenging Hunter.
Yeah, good turn to Avenging Hunter.
Pretty
sweet. That's hot.
Isn't that pretty sweet? Yeah,
that is kind of hot.
Very high variance. That's not a card you want to be top decking with gardens too often.
No, but I think you could also build the deck in a way that does take advantage of that being a center of your deck.
But gardens just draw so much, like they have so much card volume. Like as the game goes on, I think you don't mind if you've got if you build like 2 of these and like you could spike an early something against the decks where it really matters, and then if you like draw it late when it's useless, you have probably like 5 to 7 other cards to access to.
It's also your deck has a blood token creator. You can also discard it. Yes,
that's correct. 3 mono red decks in top 8 here. Very, very strong showing. I don't think there's much else to say on these decks. It's whether they play a Seal of Fire or one less of one of the creatures or some niche sideboard choices. But this is
a good sign of what's red to come.
Yeah. Any other thoughts?
Not on this one, not really. I just think that the 3 mono red decks in the top 8 is, like I said, just going to be, we might be seeing more of that coming up.
All right. Saturday, May 11th. This is a 32 challenge with 47 players. In 8th place, it's this name again, Probosks on Blue-Black Fairies. 7th place, Hamuda, back-to-back top 8s on Mogwarts. In 6th place, Palo Cabral BR on Walls combo. In 5th place, Carrot Eater, switching it up on Blue-Black Fairies. In 4th place, Walker 735 on Familiars. In 3rd place, Niederschatten on Blue-Black Fairies. Looks like their loss in the semifinals was their only loss in the tournament. So a strong tournament for them. In 2nd place, Jessica by Alexis F on Boros Synthesizer Glitters. And in 1st place, with an 8-1 record, Giorgio Combo on Jund Dredge. Let's see how similar this is to the Jund list we saw last week. Looks like they're playing 2 copies of a card that was not on that list called Circle of the Land Druid. This is from, I think it's from Baldur's Gate.
It is from the Baldur's Gate.
So it's 1 and a green for a 1/1 Gnome Druid, which is a great creature type. When Circle of the Land Druid enters the battlefield, you may mill 4 cards. And then it has the little like D&D flavor text, Natural Recovery. When Circle of the Land Druid dies, return target land card from your graveyard to your hand. Okay, so it's like Satyr Wayfinder's copies 5 and 6, except that it's when it dies that you get the land back. But you get to choose any land from your graveyard, not just a land from the 4 milled cards like Satyr Wayfinder. Okay. So that's kind of cool.
Just another, like you said, just another copy of that.
Yeah.
QQ.
So I think the Wayfinder effects are really important to just like try and fill up the grave as much as possible. Like these decks are also playing like Blanchwood Prowler and stuff like that. So
it's also on one of Exhume.
Yeah. Oh, this is like the Acorn Harvest version.
Yeah.
With Gnawed of the Bone. Okay. Obviously it makes sense to play the Dread Returns, but not on as many Exhumes as that list. The other ones are in the sideboard.
You just want a 5th copy.
Yeah, it looks in your main. There's a couple more in the sideboard. Yeah, and a full set of Snuff Outs in the board too.
Wonder how this deck does against mono red if you can just get some early blockers out like Satyr Wayfinder or Ruble Belt Maverick.
I think just like Gnawed of the Bone is just an absolute hose. Yeah, as long as you can like. You do have to play around their relics out of the board to some extent, but I mean you're prepared to do that against everyone if you play this deck.
Also, at some point, your creatures are just bigger than theirs. If you just like play like a Rebel Belt, Maverick into like Satyr Wayfinder or Blanchwood Prowler, then you like can start to get to the point where you have stabilized your life total enough where you can start casting some of your 4 and 5 and 6 drops.
Exactly, just like Dread Return, a generous end. How do you get through that?
And then you're like, oh, here's a 5/7, and it gained
3 life. and eats every creature.
Oh, would you like to block it and then like bolt it to kill it so you don't have to worry about it again? I'll dread return it again.
These decks are so sick. I was thinking about this earlier today. I was like listening through a couple little clips from last week while I was working, and I was like, man, playing like a dredge deck sounds like super fun.
This one has an interesting sideboard too. It's not just all the flashback cards. It's playing 4 snuff outs from the sideboard.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe now that's probably not as relevant with.
No, you don't need. This was a deck where you could tap out and because you had snuff out, and you were also doing like this like good busted thing.
You wanted snuff out for the glitter.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what I'm
saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Like at the time, you wanted to be able to tap out and enact your game plan while being able to hold up interaction.
2 Exhume in the sideboard's interesting too, just because you think that's
for other decks that like they're not getting anything in the graveyard. I mean, it seems like completely reasonable.
Yeah, I mean, you always expect your opponents to bring in relics and stuff.
Yeah, you also have your own answers for their cards, but I'm saying like this is where you're not gonna have like they're not gonna have any graveyard pieces. So for, say that's like a deck like Jeskai Ephemerate, like where they're not like actively trying to put creatures in the graveyard, but they also don't really have their own pieces of graveyard hate because they can't really afford to sack like a relic, like fully crack a relic because then it really hurts their own game plan. So they don't really have as many graveyard hate pieces. So I think this is like something kind of in that vein where you just want like as many copies of a reanimate effect that you can get
versus like Cyclostorm or something.
Yeah, also
play relics, I guess. Yeah, QQ.
But yeah, this is a super sweet one.
Yeah. Plus they're like all in on Knot of the Bone too. So they're not. They want to dread return specific things and maybe not necessarily super turbo out the Exhume. The list from last weekend's top 8 dredge list was on the full 4 Exhume and was like very much trying to like turbo out trolls and stuff like that.
Their graveyard hate is copies of Coffin Purge,
which is so sick.
Which, for those who don't know what Coffin Purge is a single black instant from looks like Odyssey.
I think.
Or no, I'm so sorry. Yeah, it's Odyssey. And it is single black instant. Remove target card in a graveyard from the game and has flashback of single black. So yeah, they had 2 copies of those. There's their graveyard hate.
The Walls deck playing more than 5 lands.
Oh,
they're
more
playing
than 8, yeah.
Or more than 8. Yep.
Good. They have.
They're playing 12. I thought it was funny. They're playing the Gingerbread Cabin though with 12 lands, which is like that common cycle from Throne, where you need 3 other forest for it to come in untapped. Which just I don't see that happening too often in this deck.
I mean, it has 10 forests. It has 11 forests if you count the Radiant Grove.
12 lands though, you know. It's just
you're also able to pick the Gingerbread Cabin up with your
Quirion Ranger.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You can pick it up
because it is a forest.
It is a forest.
Cool.
So you can pick it up.
So you can make a bunch of. You can make a food a turn if you want to.
That's probably fine.
Yeah, no, it's not bad.
It just buys you time.
Time is all we have, Hippo.
That's true. Any other notes on this Saturday top 8?
No notes.
Nope, not really.
Alrighty. Let's move it on to our final challenge for this past weekend. This is the Sunday 64 challenge on May 12th. We got 68 players. Everyone's coming out to play. In 8th place, Poker's Wizard on Poison Storm. In 7th place, Grindera on Mono Red Koldatha. In 6th place, Mr. Twin, also on Mono Red Koldatha. In 5th place, O Danielakos on Demir Terror. In 4th place, Alskek on Golgari Gardens. In 3rd place, Carrot Eater with back-to-back top 4s on Blue Black Fairies. In 2nd place, GN42 back in the finals slot with Familiars. And in 1st place with a 9-1 record on the day, Baiko de Gea on Blue Black Fairies.
I believe the finals was split.
You believe they split the finals?
I believe they split the finals.
Okay, sick.
Let me give it a little check.
Fairies list not doing the Dark Ritual shenanigans. I checked that out. Just kind of what you expect from Fairies now. I do like that they do have the 1 Murmuring Mystic in the main board.
Yeah, just, with a second on the side.
No second aside, just 1 main.
They have a second one on the side.
Second one on the side, but also 1 main. I just glanced there. Sorry, there's a lot of 1-ofs in that sideboard. So
there are a lot of 1-ofs.
That's funny.
Yeah,
there's 4 Hydroblasts, 2 relics, and the rest are 1-ofs.
The rest are 1-ofs. I like the 1/1 split between the main and the board of the Arms of Hadar. We've mentioned it before. It's 3 and a black sorcery from Baldur's Gate. Creature's target player controls gets -2/-2 until end of turn. It's just 2 toughness is like the break point for mono red, and being able to leave your board intact while wiping their board is huge. So that's why you see it here as opposed to something like Drown in Sorrow.
4 could be a little late against mono red. Just like,
right.
It's steep, but it's like in fairies, it's like hopefully like your Spellstutter Sprites countered a kicked Bushwhacker or something, you know.
Maybe your Augur Bolas like blocked for a little bit.
Yeah, hopefully you bought some time somewhere where this is relevant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Blue-black fairies always a strong choice. Another one.
It was not a split. It was a fought match in the finals.
All right, cool.
Ooh, okay. There you go.
I'm gonna take a look at Carrot Eater's list here, see if there's any major differences. 3 Brainstorm, interesting.
Good
but
magic
it's a pretty good match as opposed to 4 is more what I'm saying.
Yeah, some of these numbers are interesting. I will say that.
Yeah. But you can't really argue too much. The numbers are pretty similar. I think the creature suite in the main is exactly the same.
Well, the first place list is only playing 2 Brainstorms.
Oh, well, then never mind.
I
don't know what I'm talking about.
Which is kind of I couldn't tell you why.
Brainstorm, just not the technology.
I hope in MH3 we get 1 blue, 1/1 flying fairy, ETB at Brainstorms.
Ooh. With Flash.
Yeah, sure.
No. I'll just go with the simple like Bugs Bunny. No.
That'd be so cool though. You never know. That was the leak card. That was
the leaked card.
That was the card Gavin was talking about. I'm sure. I'm calling it now. Any other thoughts on these challenges overall? It's kind of weird because it's like we're talking about these challenges, but it is a banned challenge weekend.
Yeah, just kind of an old format.
I think there were 2 decks or 2 or 3 decks across the.
I think
4.
only 2.
Yeah, I think it was 2 decks across 4 challenges.
3
challenges. 3 challenges in top 8.
So
It's like that's
it was kind of trending down. People kind of get used to dealing with it in the meta, but now I am a little worried to see what. Hopefully, mono red doesn't take over too hard. I bet we'll see.
I don't think it will. I think there's a lot of good play against it. This also might be a good time for Terror or like Blue-Black Terror to become a deck again, or to be like a more popular deck again. I think it's a really good time for that.
Yeah. It's already putting up good numbers.
Yeah, like it already is a deck that is good, and I think it just gets a little bit better here. Again, it's also like say having that like the fangs is pretty powerful,
and not having to like really lean on Snuff Out as hard potentially. I mean, Snuff Out's still a very good card, and I think that you will play some number of them, but you don't have to be like, I need this to kill the creature they put glitters on or whatever.
Correct. And I think existing things like fairies will continue to be good, and then decks that have kind of taken a wane a little bit. I think one Cameron mentioned earlier was Gates will be a nice resurgent, I believe.
Oh, for sure.
Yep. I think that's about it.
Alrighty. Sorry. But if you made it this far, thank you so much for listening. If you have any questions, comments, concerns for us, you can DM us, any of us, or add us on Twitter. Those will be in the bio. You could also send us a good old-fashioned email to at commongroundmtgpod@gmail.com.
There is no ad at the beginning of that.
There is no, but that, you know what I mean? People say that. Leave us a review. 5 stars on Spotify. Write us some words on Apple Podcast. And James Hieronymus will read your words aloud live on the pod. Thank you so much. Peace out.
Later, everyone.
So long. Until next week.
Oh my god.
Depends on where you were rolling around in the dirt.
And all the
South
glass
Dakota.
where
Well,
you chuck glass.
That's
at
exactly where I was.
We
thinking.
didn't go to the ice house. We did play beer darts though. It was fun.
Sure, you didn't get stabbed with a beer dart?
No,
that would be a bigger.
Sister-in-law. I sling darts, dude, and I hit her crock and
this
bounced
is
off the crock.
And this is why you want us to play beer darts with you.
Fun. Nobody got
I'm
hit
not
last time.
trying to get stabbed in the foot with
Same.
a dart.
Wear
Same.
shoes.
It's still
No.
a lawn dart.
It's just a dart. You just play with like a
Cool.
dart.
Still not.
Steel toes incoming.
Okay, it's fine. It only hurts at the beginning because you're not drunk yet. And
It only hurts
got
when
hit.
it goes in, and then it's fine.
Nobody got hit. Let me see.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get stabbed in the foot with a dart.